quickly need to check something. There we go. We are live. There we go. I just need to let the Twitter folks that we are indeed alive, and the Discord. And I will just send a heart there. And close the Discord. And alright, how are we doing, folks? Just gonna look for some music. There we go. Just some Sonic Gems collection music. I like to put this on a lot. The Twitch title has a typo. Interesting, because I could have sworn I fixed it. Let me go to Twitch. Yeah, because it said Sill art stream, right? So, and I should have sworn I fixed. Okay, for some reason it didn't keep. The fix did not keep done. Very unusual. How you doing, Milksteak? Welcome to the chill art stream. We're just gonna be pardon me. Just drawing today. Better now? I'm glad to hear that. What to draw first? I'll do a bit of fan art. Why not? Oh, okay. I'm not doing so great. What are you drawing today? Thinking I'm gonna be doing just a little bit of fan art for LACKADAISY, just because I feel like it. I'm sorry that I sort of miscommunicated your mood right now. Hopefully today's chill art stream might help a little bit. D says roar. Hello, D. Careful with that roar. That's a big spoopy dragon roar. That might scare off some people. Of course, they'd be missing out on all the fun we're gonna have. Like I say, all the fun we're gonna have, and I'm saying it in like the most just monotone voice possible. Just looking for a pose reference. What are we making today? I'm not a scary dragon. No, you're not, D. You're a nice, big, fluffy dragon. What are we making today, Horace? Just whatever. This is just a regular chill art stream. We're not focusing on anything specific. Right now, I'm drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY. Specifically, this is based on the sort of animated short film that they're doing. So, just because that one's like it's just easier that way because the actual like LACKADAISY art is, first of all, it's in sepia, and second of all, it's incredibly like detailed. So great like art doesn't necessarily make for fantastic like reference material. Is that the thing where you sing some ditty about the river? I don't know about that because I've been, outside of some of the cast, I've been mostly trying to, keep myself in the dark about the, animated movie. I'm more familiar with the comics, and even then, it's been a while since I've read the comics. I'm behind on those comics. So, you know. Just something simple. Just, as you can see, he's got a bat there, so just something with him and a bat. Why not? I might embellish this pose a little bit, because obviously you're not supposed, like... Oh, I just mean some pre-render. I believe it's got the name LACKADAISY. Yeah! Also, as a fair warning, last time I drew this character was 5 years ago. It might actually... Yeah, it was about 5 years ago. And I never shared it on the internet. So if he ends up looking like garbage, that's okay. Isn't Sungwon... Yes! Sungwon is voicing Mordecai. And, Michael Kovac, or Korvac, I believe his name is. I think it's Kovac. He's, hang on, I'm gonna look that up because it's, gonna drive me crazy if I don't, Kovac. Michael Kovac, who's, Angel Dust is Rocky here. There's a few others who I recognize, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I was actually also thinking of doing some Has Been Hotel fan art, but I don't know. I know that one's a little bit more dicey, a little bit more controversial, so figured it's probably better not to poke that wasp's nest, I suppose. Though I might anyway, like, screw it, why not? Funny you mentioned Angel Dust. Is it funny that I mentioned Angel Dust? My friend is basically in with the Has Been Hotel. Oh, who is it? I might know them. Maybe not, like, on a personal level, but I might be like, oh, yeah, I know that person. That's kind of the funny thing about, like, I lost track of what I was saying. Sorry. I'm not exactly going completely on model. That's fine. I'm not, like, obviously I'm not doing this for a specific thing, so, you know. Also, I believe also, hi, Ada Mana Burst. And hi, T-Chap, I don't think I ever said hoy to you. Oh, he isn't in the crew, he's just a big personality with them. How do you mean? I don't think I understand, unfortunately. Remember, I am stupid, so... Never watched Has Been because I heard it was kind of... No, it is not. What you may have heard was that, like, forever ago, like, I think over a decade ago, I believe a member of the crew had, like, a Newgrounds, and you know how Newgrounds humor was back then? That was, again, that was forever ago, and attitudes and whatnot have shifted a lot. Has Been Hotel is actually very much not really racist at all. That's actually kind of one of the things that I haven't heard a lot of people accuse it of being. A couple of, but again, not even because of what's in it, more so because someone did some stupid stuff like 10 years ago, and as you know, forgiveness is not the forte of the internet, as it were, rather, unfortunately. Like the other fans, I love him so much, and he became close friends with the crew. That's really nice. Okay, good to know. It's pretty good. Despite it, I wouldn't necessarily saying it's like racist or anything. The humor's pretty raunchy. I would still keep that in mind. The humor is pretty raunchy. So if that's not exactly up your alley, the same with the spin-off. What's it even called? Hell of a Boss. That one I think is actually even more raunchy because like Has-Been Hotel's like trying to have like a story and in relatively developed characters. Hell of a Boss is just it's just a series of ridiculous vignettes, more or less. I mean, it's connected by a thread, like a story thread and characters, but it's more just about like slapstick violence. Not a big fan of raunchy humor. It's not like South Park bad or anything, but there's foul language, there's sex jokes and sort of cruel it has a sort of cruel sense of humor at times. Of course, unlike something like Family Guy, I feel like it sort of works to its advantage, especially since the whole show is about the whole if I could use a line from Has-Been Hotel to prove a point, I'd probably rather you didn't if it was a particularly raunchy line. But yeah, I'd argue, say, Hell of a Boss is even more raunchy. In fact, I will say, Has-Been Hotel I don't think is, at least comparatively, particularly problematic, but there is a line in Hell of a Boss, which, to be fair, the short's even like, wow, that was really stupid and immature of you to say, but it's still there, and fair warning, I don't want to necessarily say what it is. I did some synth window shopping, as it were. I found something I will get absolutely when I have more money. I'm going to buy a Korg Wave State. I don't know what that is. But I would at the very least recommend giving them at least a look. I actually, it's funny. Looking at the shorts back to back, I actually think that the Hell of a Boss short is better, but I prefer the characters in Has-Been Hotel. Does that make any sense? What even started this conversation? Was it because of Michael Kovac? Yeah, it was because of Michael Kovac was voicing Rocky. So, FYI, I like CSP, but only with the drawing pad. Yeah, no, Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, that's definitely a case. You have to have the tablet for it to work. Like, it's a cool thing, essentially. It's got a nice sound. I'll share some stuff if I get one. Excellent. So it's for music production. Okay. I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure. Don't you love how clean my sketches are? I can see that. Like, I prefer the cast of Persona 4, but I like the cast of Persona 5. But that's fair. I like the cast of both games. I like them for different reasons. Persona 4 is, by Shin Megami Tensei, like, Persona standards, is a much more grounded game. And the characters, I think, are more realistic. Persona 5's characters are a lot more exaggerated, and I think that works wonderfully for that game. And I like both. I can do both. If I had to say, I think I prefer the characters in Persona 5, but that's just because I tend to like characters with very bold, big personalities. That's not necessarily because I think the one cast is better than the other. I honestly prefer dirtier sketches. I appreciate that. I can have appreciation for all types of sketches. Frankly, sketching is, like, at least for me, it's one of the most fun parts of the drawing. It's just, there's just something about that part. Actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe have him having like his hand on his side. I think will look a little bit more Rocky-ish. I like how I've only just sort of barely been following the pose provided. I might actually change the pants because they're looking a little bit Yakko Warner. Which, I mean, to be fair, if not Michael Kovac, if I was going to pick someone to be Rocky, it would probably be Rob Paulson. I mean, it's not unprecedented. They got Zim in Hell of a Boss. Like, Vivzy Pop got Zim in Hell of a Boss. What's the name of Zim's voice actor again? That's gonna drive me crazy. I used to sketch really clean. It was detrimental to my health. That's fair. My sketches are really rough purposes, so yeah. No, it was weird. My laptop is a reversible pen, but it feels wrong. Oh, God. I need to pay more attention to the chat. Sorry, folks. I think I might change how I'm doing the color, because I have the color all up and done. I think I might have it so it's a bit more loose. I know that's what it looks like on the ref, but I mean, that's the wonderful thing about clothes is that you can change them up a little bit. Just as long as it kind of like keeps, because if you like look, it's a very simple color design. So, it's actually funny that that this cartoon that they're doing is so much more simple, and yet it manages to still capture that same energy. I think that's a sign of a really, really good animated kind of adaptation, because that's something that a lot of manga has to do, because a lot of manga is very visually dense, and then they have to kind of pull that back in to make it easier to look, like easier to animate. Like the 90s Berserk is another good example. Visually, I know that there's some issues with the way they handle the writing and whatnot, but I mean, it's better than 2016 Berserk. The whole watching the screen while tracing on ArtPad works so natural. Yeah, that's fair. I have CSP on my Samsung Galaxy Tablet S3. I might need to upgrade that too, because it's not too great CSP, to be honest. Do you mean it doesn't run a CSP very well, or you're not enjoying CSP? I mean, that's fine. It's, as much as I love CSP, I'm not a big fan of a lot of, I guess, the kind of pedestal it gets put on. Because like any art program, it does some things better than others, and it does some things worse than others. I think that it's definitely got like an art program like Psybeat in terms of everything you can do, but Psy has a lot of like quality of life and like user simplicity things that I think make it a easier program to get into using. It's not running well, so your tablet, okay. Yeah, that happens. Unfortunately, technology is designed to actually his tie goes beyond his he's got a very long tie. And it's got a little R on it. I want a tie with my initial on it. That's so cool. I think my deal is if I draw right on the screen, unless it's a huge touch monitor, it may feel I hit the wrong button and get too careful. That's fair. Touch monitors aren't for everyone. I just use a regular ass tablet. Although I would like to get a monitor I can draw on. I would like to get like a Cintiq. Like Donkey Kong? Like Donkey Kong. Fox, that is by realism standards actually fairly accurate tie length. His pants are tight. That's fair. Yeah, his pants are quite hiked up, so that is fair. My twin is an XP pen screen tablet, and it's great. Yeah, I've heard good stuff about that. My boyfriend has a Cintiq, and I'm like super jelly. I could probably afford one now. It's more just a case of, well, here's the thing, I can quote afford one now. It's more just a case of like, I have to pay rent and whatnot first. That's more important, you know? So, like, if I wanted to blow my money on it, I could, but I think that's kind of a misunderstanding when I say things like, oh, well, I need the money or whatever. It's not that I don't have money, it's that I need money to live. Like, and I need money to live, I need money for savings, I need money for materials. Yeah, I'm trying to save up for a drawing tablet, not to put you on the spot, but do you have any recommendations? Well, you can't necessarily go wrong with stuff like if you want like a safe just one to pick, just a Wacom Intuos just graphics tablet should do it. I'm using a Pro, I think. This one is actually, this tablet I actually have here is actually a hand-me-down. I had the newer version of this model, but it actually broke. The one that I have now was my boyfriend's. And the one I had before that was a more basic Intuos S. With that said, Wacom tablets, their drivers are a little bit bad. The tablets themselves are quite good quality for the most part, but they're quite not great. Like the drivers aren't exactly fantastic. All I'm finding is like there's Huion stuff. My twin had not stopped issues with Wacom. I don't have any issues with it myself. Yeah, exactly. It seems to money saved for survival is already spent. Exactly. Another, not a specific model, but a company I hear a lot of people talking good about is Huion. 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 And their stuff is apparently quite good. I'm not familiar with any of their work, but I'd love to sometime. Huion CS support. I'm sorry, I had to Google the name super quick. I ended up on their website. I don't like that arm. I don't know. There's just something wrong about the arm. I don't think it's thick enough. I don't think the arms are thick enough. So let's, you might notice that's a problem I have with art, is I don't have... What just happened? Oh, Horace, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Yeah, Mana Burst BC, if you're watching this, welcome to the sub club. Kick your feet up and relax, we're just drawing. Ooh, that's actually good, I like that, the sub club. Maybe I'll keep that. Welcome to the sub club. Something to say for subs. And followers, I could just say, like, the welcome to the foxhole, we're, doing such and such. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm still figuring out, like, catchphrases and whatnot. He's actually got his whole, like, kind of fist around it. So, yeah, I'm gonna draw, like, the club first, and then I'll figure out how I want his hand to be oriented on it. Am I currently looking at a Huion model? My friend said she liked the Huion tablet. She has more than her old Wacom one. There's definitely advantages to getting a Huion instead of Wacom. I think my next tablet will be a Huion one. Subscribers will be in your horde if you decide to stream. Ooh, I like that. That's good. Or if somebody or you could be like, thanks for donating to the horde or something like that. If somebody like donates money. How many fingers does he have? He's only got 3. Okay. Subscribe would be... Oh, okay, you already read that. Hey, Truckomingo, how you doing? I have Paint.net, but I'm starting to use Fire Pocket for... I never used Paint.net. Is it any good? Because, like, it was on the computers and whatnot at my school, but I never used it. Being a dragon has its perks, ooh. Well, that, you know, I mean, you could burn down or freeze or whatever a village. I mean, who's gonna stop you, right? It's okay. Play it looking for starters. Yeah, I mean, so is MS Paint, so I mean... Of course, people don't like MS Paint. I think MS Paint is fine for just a really, really basic starting program. I think it's fine. Like, if it wasn't for MS Paint, I would have never gotten into digital art, so... I like MS Paint. Yeah. There goes my doggo. Someone's at the door. Either that or someone just sort of passed by, and she's all like, People! People, come inside the house! I want you to pet me! Or for memes. Or for, actually, sprite work. Oh, I got T-Chap just responding with the pictures of Rubric. I might have to go check up on the peanut gallery in a minute, see what's got her so freaked out. Dog Pog. Or photorealistic Santas. Or recreations of the Mona Lisa. Every now and again, I'll just boot up MS Paint and just doodle something stupid, just because I'm feeling nostalgic. It'd usually be something cringy. Because heck, cringe culture. Dog Pog. I should make like Fox Pog emotes. I think I have enough to actually put a new emote, but I promised hearts, like I promised to buy hearts. So I drew 0 in Paint recently, is that right? Yeah, I think I only posted on Twitter. I don't think I saw that. Hey, Kazeno Abzo, how are you doing? If you guys don't know, Kazeno Abzo here is the composer of the main theme for Fox Tales, as well as the end credits theme for Fox Tales. He does good stuff, so his name's the exact same on Twitter and such, so give him a follow. How you doing? We were talking earlier, and then I had to go and get ready. Speaking of Kazeno Abzo, this frickin' Oh, Milksteak, you're a cutie. By the way, about Kazeno Abzo. This mad lad commissioned me earlier today, and then, like, gave me, like, a $60 tip. You needed a confidence boost today? Well, you're a cutie and then some. And no matter what difficulties you're going through right now, you'll be able to get past them, because I believe in you. Okay, Milksteak? I hope you keep that in mind. Yeah, mad lad, right? You deserve it, you egg. Not... Bruh! Like, I'm not gonna argue about you giving me a tip, but, like, you don't go to a restaurant and tip someone, like... Let's see, it was like a $90 commission. Or set of commissions, technically. You gave me like 70% tip. The difficulties will end well. Yes, there were, and you'll come out the other side stronger. I believe in you. I feel that. I just gave you what I believe you were, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Every little bit helps me to continue doing what I'm doing because I like having money. That, and it's how I live, right? It's how I pay for internet. It's how I paid for, like, EI only gets me so far, right? So admittedly, they're probably going to be extending my EI because, oh, look at that. There's way more cases in Ottawa again because we all sent the kids back to school and now the disease. Anyway, we're getting political. Let's not get into that. The point is, here's something interesting. I actually haven't listened to this in a while. This is the Sonic Mega Collection history and extras music, but it's, although I think it was only used for, yeah, it was used for history and extras. But this is slowed down. It was done by NostalgiaFox0205 on YouTube. I have no idea who that person is, but it just kind of came on, and I haven't listened to this in a while, so I'm going to leave it on for a bit. EI, is that a Canadian? Employment insurance. Basically, if you're, if for one reason or another you're indisposed from working, you can get, like, a stimulus check every once in a while. It only lasts for so long, though, and, you know. Yeah, yes, Kaze, I've actually used the Sonic Mega Collection OST when doing an art stream before. Sounds nice. It is. Or do you mean the check? The check is nice, but it has some problems. Mostly because it's actually very easy to lose it. I've just been incredibly lucky. But the kind of difficult thing is with COVID leaving some people indisposed from work, and some people couldn't get EI for one reason or another. Money's a little tight right now. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like we're gonna be booted out of our house or anything. But, like, you know, it's actually not. That's actually part of why I chill so much, because it's like, you know, hey, any little bit helps. But anyway, enough about me talk about money. It seems like I talk about money way too much. So, you know. Both, I mean, yeah, no, this soundtrack, I mean, again, this is an edited version, this is a slowed down version, but even just the original track itself sounds really nice. Understandable, but it is a legitimate concern. Yeah, I know it's a legitimate concern, but especially when we do, like, these chill art streams, we're mostly just here to hang out, right? Like, it's Tuesday, it's the beginning of the week. People are back at work and it sucks. Just trying to, you know, spread a little bit of positivity. So actually, you know, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he doesn't really look like the style, but I wasn't exactly going for the style. Although I might curve up his face floofs a little bit more. I wasn't exactly going for the style. It was more like I wanted to incorporate aspects of it into my own style. Sometimes venting about anxieties can be relaxing. That's true. But I'd rather help you folks with your anxieties, you know? I'll be right back. I'm out of water, so I'm gonna grab a Pepsi. But yeah, maybe that's something I'll do. Maybe I'll make these little sessions where give, like, pieces of advice and whatnot. I wouldn't mind if anyone has any questions or anything. Maybe don't make it too personal or too heavy, but like, you know. I might calm you after the stream. Feel free to hit me up, D. Sing the Pepsi Man theme. Hang on. I'm just gonna pause this for a minute. So you know how I said this was a chill stream? Unfortunately, this is no longer a chill stream because Pepsi Man. Two, 3. Da 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 da. Pepsi Man! Pepsi Man! Alright, that's enough of that. Really, the only lyrics are Pepsi Man! So, like, you know. I don't know how well you guys even heard the music. It was audible. It was there. Pepsi out of 10. Fantastic. I stole this joke from Brain Scratch Column, so I'm gonna say it anyway. The Pepsi Man universe is the only universe where the question, is Pepsi okay, is met with delight. I'm alright with Pepsi. I prefer Coke, but it was what was there. And it's Pepsi Zero, I should mention. So, you know. My uncle Corey, he's a diehard Coca-Cola fan. And I mean, Coca-Cola is good stuff. My tablet's getting really hot. Is that what you're watching on here right now? Well, if you got a dip, my dude, it's alright. 0 over diet. Yeah, no question. I never, if I can help it, I never get diet soda. The only thing I will make an exception for is Diet Dr. Pepper, and that's because I've acclimated to the taste enough as to where it kind of tastes like regular Dr. Pepper now. In general, if I'm getting soda, I try not to get the regular soda because of just in general, I'm trying to lower my sugar intake. Pepsi Zero basically has all the benefits of Diet Pepsi, but with no calories. So, you know, of course it also has the negatives of any given pop, but like, you know. So I think I'm gonna do a cleanup sketch, and then we're gonna go up into lining it and coloring it. Yeah, might as well make this a complete piece, you know? Gonna do a real quick cleanup sketch so I have a better idea of what we're looking at here. Or maybe I'll just, I don't know, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to finish this, or do you want me to just do the cleanup sketch and then move on to something else? Hey, Poppin', how you doing? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Kick up your feet and relax. Welcome to the Fox Den. Or was it Fox Den or yeah, Fox Den. I couldn't remember my own freaking catchphrase for a second there. Welcome to the Fox Den. We're just doing some art. Specifically right now, I'm drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY. Specifically, it's based more on the animated short film version. I'm gonna give him like a little divot in his pupils, I think, just to kind of suggest a bit of shine. Overslept during my nap? Oh, I do that all the time. I heard diet soda is really bad for your teeth. Like, worse than regular soda. It might be. I don't know. My teeth are fine. And I drink plenty of diet and zero sodas, so... Of course, I'm also very obsessive about my teeth, so that might help. So that might be why. Draw whatever you feel comfortable drawing. And Milksteak, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm having flashbacks to bees with teeth. Remember bees with teeth? That was you, right? Who requested bees with teeth? or who donated for Bees with Teeth. I think that was you, yeah. And Nook Marks. That was forever. I think that was the first art stream I ever did. Dang, that, yeah, it was the first stream. I think it was just the first stream, period. That was months ago. It feels like a few months ago at least. It feels like just yesterday. That was back in May. It feels like, it does, doesn't it? It feels like it's been, it already feels like it's been, 2020 is crazy because it kind of feels like it's already been like a decade in its own right. Just because of how much has happened. I know that like, that's like the haha joke where it's like 2020 goes on forever, but like, it does feel quite long. I tasted diet soda and it tasted way horrible. That's fair. A lot of diet sodas aren't very good. Just in general, as like a point, like if I can get like a 0 variant over a diet variant, I will always go for that 0 variant. Generally, if I can help it, I try to do more like if I'm just in a thing where I'm like, you know what, why not? I'll always go for the like the original, but like I think it got me a bit sick. Is that right? I don't think I've heard that before. I think I was one of the only people who showed up to that stream. You know, I just Gordon Watson said yes. It was like you. I'm sure there's some other people. It wasn't a lot. There was a lot of people who came in for like a second and then left. I think it was just a bug, though. A bug in the code. Somebody gotta patch that. Patch the Diet Pepsi sickness glitch. Yo, Matrix, get on that. Shake my head. Hey, Geek Fox! Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Fox Den. Kick up your feet and relax. We're just doing some chill art today. Right now I'm drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY. That's exciting. Coolies. Indeed, it is Coolies. How have you been, Geek Fox? It's been a while since we've just talked. Of course, I know neither of us are exactly social butterflies, so... Then again, are any of us? Is anyone really? I find there's a lot more introverted and ambiverted millennials than there is extroverted ones. At least in my experience, I may be misremembering. Of course, most of the ambiverts or extroverts are probably, you know, outside. Or, you know, with people. I'm alright. Just got home from work. Where is it you work? If you don't mind me asking. Pardon me. I feel like I've been getting better, but nah, definitely not a social butterfly. I'm not either. So like I said in the anxieties video, I think it was the anxieties videos I said this. I don't consider myself an introvert. I consider myself an ambivert. In that, I like social interaction, I like meeting people, but I'm also not, like, super hung up on it. You know, it's not like there's an upper limit, I guess. And some days I just don't feel like interacting with people at all. They're like unicorns. Introverts don't. I say mostly never. Extroverts don't exist, Mario. San Antonio, Texas. Geek, I asked where you worked, not where you live. Unless you work at San Antonio, Texas. Which, I mean, I guess technically that's not wrong. They're like unicorns. Woo. What do you mean? Unicorns are real? His pants actually don't have a seam on the front. Huh. Yeah, that's where I work. Okay. I like Choco Mango with the the mad emote. How many people we got watching? 5 viewers? Yeah, it's about normal. That's about my average viewer intake, I think. It's about 5 or 6. Not a lot, but I don't mind it. Sometimes I like it a little bit more quiet, you know? Surprisingly, I know, considering other than these art streams I've been doing, I mostly spend a lot of time shouting. I'm very loud, actually. Hey, Dressert, how you doing? Loving the bold and brash. Kick up your feet and relax. We're just doing a chill art stream. I'm drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY, specifically based on the animated short film version. Probably didn't hear the question 100%. Too much noise in my room. That's fair. I'm actually really happy that the heat or anything isn't on right now, so thankfully there isn't too much feedback. I don't think. Like, there isn't too much background noise, rather, not so much feedback. I don't know about feedback, but there isn't so much background noise on my mic right now. So you guys can just enjoy the dulcet tones of Sonic Gem Mega Collection music, and if for whatever reason you like my voice, you can listen to that too without going on in the background. I put myself down a lot. Is that tiring? I try not to, but like sometimes I just can't help it, you know? I'm trying to think more positively about my work. And I hope you all do too. Whatever endeavor you get yourself involved with, I hope you try and think more positively about it. If you can. Obviously, if you can't, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just can't. You can't always be in that headspace, you know? And it's unrealistic to think so. Who's the character you're drawing for? Oh, Dressert, I had already said. Sorry if I didn't... Like, sorry if it wasn't clear. I'm drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY. Specifically, I'm basing it off the ref that they have for the animated short film that's coming out in a couple years, or whenever they're planning to release it. Again, I'm fairly in the dark about that short film because I want it to be like I want it to be a surprise, you know. Your constant self-deprecation can be a bit tiring at times. I know. It's something here's the thing. It's not something like... I mean, every now and again, I might, like, pull out, like, a haha, look at how bad I am at art joke. But, like, for the most part, I try not to. Sometimes it just kind of slips out. Sometimes it just happens. Unfortunately, aside from, obviously, conditions and whatnot, a lot of the time it feels like people are conditioned to not be proud of their achievements. And that's unfortunate. Be more confident or else. Or else what, you're gonna water gun me to death? It's full of acid or something. What are you gonna do, moisturize me? And 10 points if you understand that reference. Not that it's a particularly obscure one, I'm just not sure how many people are interested in British sci-fi in this chat. How are y'all doing, folks? Not sure I asked that yet. I recognize the spiked bat as a little bit more, like, Japanese delinquent kind of stereotype, but, you know. Mafiosos use it too, though I know that's not exactly a accurate description for Rocky, because more like he's a part of a kind of, how would you even describe it? Like a speakeasy kind of thing. Good. Done with life's obligations and happy to be here listening to you and watching you draw. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Kaze. I'm glad I'm able to bring you some entertainment after a long day. I only got the one response asking whether or not they wanted me to continue the drawing, so I'm just going to continue the drawing. Mobster? No, he's not even really that. It's sort of, what is that time period called? Hang on, I'm just going to do a quick Google search. Well, yes, he is a crime doer, technically. I was gonna say bootlegger, but that's not exactly accurate either. Bootleg again. Bootlegger is close, but it's not exactly the word I'm looking for. Though we're getting closer. Because when I think bootlegger, you want to know what I think of? I think of like, which by the way, can I just say the idea of Rocky selling people like, or like smuggling a bunch of Robert cops is amazing, and I might draw fan art of that sometime because that's really funny and chaotic enough for something for him to do. I think it's just chaotic enough. By the way, if you guys aren't familiar, please look up Robot Cop 2. It's like this surprisingly decent looking robot, RoboCop. Robot Cop also sounds like a bootleg of RoboCop. It's like an action figure of RoboCop. It's based on an official one. It's a bootleg of an official RoboCop toy. It's actually a pretty decent replica, but it's just it's Robert Cop. That's the only thing that they changed was the name. I think also the gun is black. That's a neat character. He is, yeah. Excuse me. The furniture of law enforcement. The furniture of law enforcement. I like that. Holy crap, that's a neat character. He is, CJ. Also, welcome. Kick up your feet and relax. I'm just drawing Rocky from LACKADAISY. Specifically based on the animated version of him. But that's not the same company. It might be the same company. Also made something called, like, basically looks like the Tim Burton Batman action figure, and like the big one, and it's called Bat Hero. I love dumb off-brand names like that. Bat Hero. It's so generic too. It's like, wow, I wonder what that's a rip-off of. It'd be like if they did one of Sonic, it'd be called like Fast the Hedgehog. What is it called? Prohibition. The story, if I'm remembering correctly, takes place during the nationwide prohibition that happened in the 1920s. And I believe in Canada it had a different name. No, it was just prohibition. Speaking of bootleg toys, have you seen the Sense of Right Alliance? I love the Sense of Right Alliance. Everyone's here. Batman, Superman, Shrek, a car. Oh no. I believe there's a couple. Well, okay, actually, no. The one I was thinking of is not a Sense of Right Alliance. It's just called literally Superheroes. And my favorite thing is there's a picture of this one that I'm thinking of. Aside from the fact that they tried to do mullet Superman, but they were too lazy, so it kind of looks like he has like a neck beard. Is that on the box? There's a picture of Mr. Incredible, even though he's not included in any of the superheroes, as it's called, the superheroes sets, and he's called the Hulk Man. CJ, oh no. I believe he's got like stripes down his head, like so. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell because I picked up a unfortunately kind of low resolution version of his ref, and then I had to stretch it out. So colors might not even be 100% accurate either. That's okay. But guys, we're talking about bootlegs. What about Harry Potter Obama? Guest starring Sonic the Hedgehog. I might keep this as like a... just cause. Just, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to start line arting. Doing the line work now. Ha 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 ha! That was a very uncomfortable looking laxer. More JonTron. Well... the Harry Potter Obama thing, as far as I know with JonTron, that only showed up for like a minute in one of his videos. Like a second. In that same bootleg video. I was like, when I think of Harry Potter Obama, I think of, I don't even remember the video, but it's just, they're just reading off like different bootlegs. And one of them is just the woman goes like, Harry Potter Obama. And for some reason, the way that she reads it, I guess, is just really funny to me. Winnie the Pooh train that plays Gungam is best bootleg. Isn't that like, doesn't it say like certified weapon on it or something? No, you were actually right the first time. It's Gangnam Style. What about Dino and Martin, that cursed Yoshi bootleg with the glowing eyes? Oh. Guys, though, what about the Galaxy Heroes hole? Where, like, almost every action figure that's a knockoff of He-Man uses the molds from Galaxy Heroes. Some of them even aren't He-Man knockoffs. Some of them are like Ninja Turtles or whatnot. If you ever get the opportunity, look up the Galaxy hole bootlegs. It's crazy. Dang it. It's alright, my dude. Frankly, when it was popular, I used to get gang damn because I was tired of hearing it. It's alright. It's an alright song. It's fine. It's okay. It's not really my type. It's not really my type of music, though. Of course, I like a decent variety of music. Just something about the way that Gangnam Style is. It's an alright song. It's a funny song, is probably good, but it's a good funny song. But like, if I want to listen to like funny music, I have a few different options I would take before it. Like the Family Guy theme song. don't know how many of you saw that cursed thing I put on my Twitter. I wish I could unsee it. It's too late, T-Chip. It's with you now. Family Guy Fox is with you now. I mean, I see it every time I close my eyes. It's not even the first time I did Family Guy Fox, if you guys recall. Why did the concept of Family Guy because of meme? Because the show is just so not good now. It's just that bad. Like... And it's like, it's so often used by just, like, people who think they're being smug to make a point. But it's Family Guy, and Family Guy should never be used to make a point. It's a dumb, dumb comedy series. That, to be fair, when it started out, wasn't really a dumb comedy series, but that's kind of what it turned into. I will say, those first few seasons of Family Guy are legitimately really good TV. It's just, you get to a certain point, and it just kind of gave up, and watching it now is like, it's like watching a completely different show. Let's pick some... Let's pick a different theme. The music ended, so... Excuse me. Yeah, Dire Docs will do. But there, I hope that answers your question, my dude. Yeah, I've only been up for an hour and 3 minutes, so... Actually, considering how long it takes me to do art, we're making pretty good time on Rocky here. I might be, like, live for, like, 2 or 3 hours. It's gonna depend, frankly, how I'm feeling. Because, admittedly, I've been tired today. I haven't gotten as much work done as I would like. Funnily enough, I just completed the stage in 3D All-Stars. Is that right? Well, then I hope that this doesn't, like, that you're not sick of this song. I could never be sick of this song. I love this. I love, the Dire Docs music. What do you think the next Family Guy would be? The next series that was funny first, but stretched on way too long. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. Like, that's not even a question. Even people are even saying that it's starting to lose itself, like, now. I tried doing 100 coins for the second Bowser fight, so the sub was still there. Excuse me! Yeah, Mario 64 is weird stuff like that. It's like, oh, I guess it's Mega Man X now. Where it's like, oh, I beat Bowser. Now certain things in the stages are changing. Oh, God! Man, I'm terrible at drawing hands. Oh, hands are hard, Dresser. Don't worry about it. I've seen people who are able to beautifully render, like, everything, and then they get to the hands and they choke. Don't worry too hard about it. Hands are actually very complicated. because there's so many joints that you have to keep in mind and whatnot. They are not an easy thing to draw. So just if it's something you feel like you're particularly weak at, just take some time every now and again. Just draw a bunch of hands doing different poses. Just some loosey-goosey hand sketches. And just make sure that the hands you're drawing are from real. Like, just life drawing, I think, is a good way to help. Hands of the devil. Yep. Yep, hands are quite difficult. I've just sort of, like, settled on making them good enough. And adding in more detail when I think that it helps the picture. Unless you trade hands with the devil, then you get robot hands. Ah, but then you can play the instrument that you need to woo the woman that you love. That is a great episode of Futurama, by the way. The holophone, it is, yes, and it's also one of the most notoriously impossible instruments on the planet Earth to play. I can't think of any bad episodes of Futurama. I guess there's the one where they all swap genders. That one's not great, if I remember correctly. What about that one episode where the alien dude got pregnant? You mean the episode where Kif got pregnant? I kind of like that episode, actually. I mean, it's weird, but, like, you know, it's an alien species. You don't know. The episode itself's actually quite good. If I'm remembering correctly, I remember liking it. What about the legs and feet paws? What about them? How do you mean? I'm not sure I understand, Dresser. Do you mean how I'm, drawing the picture? Or are you talking about, like... I don't understand. I don't even think he has, like, suspenders like that. Yeah, because if you look, there's like no clipping on them or whatever, or at least I can't see any. I have a confession. I don't like this new episode of Futurama. That's fine. I can completely understand why. I mean, I like that episode, but I like it as like a dumb comedy. You know? Him do good snoo. I know that wasn't the same episode, but... But even, like, Futurama, the worst episode of Futurama is better than much of Family Guy is. And I think that says a lot about, like, Futurama. Like, just how good it is that there isn't really an episode that I would look at and say that is horrible or that is deplorable. Of course, when I say deplorable, I suppose that's being a little bit overdramatic. Oh! You think they are easier to draw than hands? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Oh, and you know what I never did? I never thanked Ranger Luxray for following 3 hours ago. An hour before the stream started. Like 2 hours before the stream started. Thank you, Ranger Luxray. Welcome, if you're watching. Welcome to the Fox Den. Kick up your feet and relax. I'm glad they ended it properly rather than dragging it longer than it should. Of course, yeah. Of course, it got canceled and then it came back and they got canceled and came back again, which is what happened to Family Guy. But they actually had the sense to just end it when they had the opportunity. Like, properly. Which is something I appreciate. And sometimes, like, my friends will be like, oh, I wish they made more Futurama. No, I'm fine with what we have. I don't think we need any more. At least not any more TV. Or if we do, like, not for a long time. I think we're good for now. I think we're set for Futurama, if I'm being honest. Maybe maybe. Even then, I wouldn't want that for a little bit. Just forgive me for a second, I have to take off my headphones because, jeez. They kill my ears sometimes. Let me tell you, big fennec ears under headphones, not a good combination. I was actually thinking of maybe getting some earbuds or something for when I stream. Just having to wear these for a few hours, it can make your ears a little sore. I don't know why I just had. On ear or over the ear? They're on ear. I do have over the ear headphones. They're wireless, but they don't tend to play nice with the mic. Unfortunately. Oh dear, what am I even doing? The whole reason I did this was so I can that's silly of me. The eraser on my tablet's getting a little bit funky. Or rather on my pen. Like my tablet pen. But semantics, I suppose. Apologies if I'm not being terribly chatty. Just a little tired. I'm just gonna take a second to stretch. Jeez, we have 10 viewers. When did that happen? Hi, everyone. Heck. Oh, excuse me. Oh, wait. Crud. No, we don't. Bad. I don't know why I'm hurting. Sorry. Probably wasn't the noise you wanted to hear right now. Heck. It's just an day. It's just kind of been like a really quick day for me because I woke up pretty late. And because I stayed up. I just haven't been able to sleep lately, so I've been staying up late. Either getting work done or whatever. And I'm probably gonna have to stay up late tonight too. Because of just because I need to get this all, like, the stream. Well, I'm not gonna have to stay up like super late, but knowing me, I'm probably not gonna be able to get to bed or get to sleep. Because that's just how it be, yo. It's not that big a deal. How we all feeling right now? We enjoying the stream? We enjoying the music? Again, I know the art streams aren't the most exciting. That's not really the point of these things. It's mostly just to chill and to chat and to just draw, you know. Occasionally get some work done, but the last couple I've just wanted to kind of take the time to decompress. I'm enjoying it very much. I'm glad. I mean, you're enjoying it very much. You know what I mean. I was reading the whatever. Stream is nice. Music is nice. Everything is nice. I'm glad. I like how you called it eel music. You know what I've been looking up with my friends lately? Those YouTube videos of just liminal spaces with, like, really nice music. Or, like, really oddly, or, like, really, like, eerie music and things like that. that Mario 64 music? It is, yes. One of those showed up in my recommended the other day. It's so odd. I know, but I really like them. There's kind of like something oddly soothing about them. To me, anyway. Like, a lot of people say that it's spooky, and it is. Obviously, that's the point. But I find them, like, oddly relaxing. Like, there's something kind of almost cozy about it. Not even necessarily for the reasons you'd think. Like, oh, well, some of these pictures are supposed to be kind of nostalgic. Yeah, not even just like that. Sometimes it's just... Hi. Hey, Micah. How you doing? Kick your feet up and relax. We're just doing some art. Today's going to be a fairly chill stream. As I want, but kind of... As I'm trying to kind of make my art streams. Excuse me. Right now, I'm just drawing a Rocky from LACKADAISY. We're moving on to the coloring phase in a minute. I just want to make sure that the light works okay. I'm an ad. Wait. Bah. Put you in an ad, huh? Unfortunately, the only way you can really avoid those ads is if you sub. I don't like it, but that's how it is. Or somebody gifts you a sub. Sub is the moral of the story. It's kind of dumb. Of course, ads on here, at least I find, aren't nearly as obnoxious as they are on YouTube. Oh my god, the YouTube ads. Like, jeez. Basically, the standard for YouTube ads is now, like, 2... What happened to the other Fox logo? That's the one I use for gaming. This is the one I use for art. I came just to say hi. Well, hello, my dude. If you stick around, that'd be cool. If you don't wanna stick around, that's cool too, my dude. Thank you for popping in. Gotta go. Bye. Okay, see you later, Micah. It's good hearing from you. See you later. I do, but my dad killed me. Jeez. Catch you on the flip side. Alright, just gonna do just a quick look over the line work and, as I've been doing, but now we're doing another pass of making sure it's okay. As you do. So quiet in here. It is. Sorry, Jesse, but, welcome. Take your feet up and relax. We're just doing some art here today. It's a chill art stream. So things are a little bit quieter than normal. Things are more relaxed. Right now, I'm just drawing Rocky here from LACKADAISY, just for funsies. I might actually change how I did the whiskers or face floof, because it looks more like it's one thing with like a line in the middle Or maybe there's like slight difference, but it's not as like in, I guess, volume, but it's not as intense as I made it out to be. It's more like, yeah, it's more like that. I think that looks a little bit more accurate. Oh, I'm doing the thing again. I'm turning into a old-timey car. T-Chap says hoy. Hoy. How'd the rest of your stream go, Jesse? I wasn't able to catch it. I had to duck out. I don't think he even has, like, visible whiskers. No, he does not. These tater tots are amazing! It was fine, nothing too crazy though. But there was a lot of rats though. We're rats. We're rats. We're the rats. We hunt at night, we play at night. We're the rats. I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules. See what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. Am I a lady or am I a rat? If I'm a lady, I'm a ladylike rat. I mean, you can be both. The two are not mutually exclusive. Excuse me. It actually makes his finger look a little bit flat. But that also looks a little weird. Maybe if I just... Okie doke. Of course, all of my rats have been boys, so, like, you know. Slightly easier to take care of male rats. I'm not even 100% sure why. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually had a female rat. I don't think so. I think all of my rats have been boys. Yeah, all my rats have been boys. I don't know what brought... Anyway. Were you just whistling? I swear I started humming literally the second you did. I don't... Was I whistling, guys? I don't think so. I mean, I can if you want. I don't think I was whistling. I don't remember whistling. Then again, I barely remember breakfast, so I mean... If you're curious, I had fruit for breakfast and a cup of milk. Mostly because yesterday I ate like a slob. My friends were celebrating Maybon and we did a meal for it, and ooh. Alright, I think the line art's good for now. Just throw in a bit of color. Oh, that feels good. Sorry, just itching my head a little. Okay, the next video over has a fan art somebody did of Starry Night, but it's like Super Mario Galaxy, and it's gorgeous. I wish I could paint. I might have to go and see what my dog is losing her mind over in a minute. I think someone just came home and now they're all like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you have left? Jeez, Tara. Yeah, I'll be right back. Back. She shouldn't be losing her mind nearly as much now. Apologies for the radio silence. Excuse me. Where's the song I was looking for? What the heck? There we go. Now this is from Yume Tuki, I think it's pronounced. It's called The Ceiling, and the song in the game is reversed. Well, technically this is the reversed version of it. So, you know, I heard this once and it sounded really nice, so. As a fellow dog owner, I understand completely. I love my girls, but, they're very loud. Keeping in mind that, we did do our best to train them to not be loud around doors. Sometimes it just happens, you know? They see someone and they get excited. Plus side, my Terra has a new bed, so that's exciting. They almost kind of look like socks. I mean, they're not. They're the shoes. I just, if you look, that's how they're drawn. Although I think there's like a little divot. Yeah, there's a little divot that I missed, so I'm going to add that. Hope you guys enjoy this particular track. It's a good track. I have it on my art playlist, which is music I like to listen to when I draw. So, of course, some of it's copyrighted. So, I mean, technically this is too, but I have a feeling that the Yume Tuki developers aren't going to care. Whereas if I dare to use music, like 2 seconds of Careless Whisper, then Warner Records or whoever are going to be all over my ass. And by that I mean they're going to use a copyright claim on my video, so not really all over my ass. But, like, you know. I miss when the internet didn't have to deal with a bunch of big corporations breathing down our neck. But, can't help it sometimes, right? I like it. The ambience is kind of soothing. That's what I was going for. I have the most unusual, like, inconsistent taste in music. Because I could... What's this music? Oh, well, this is from Yume Tuki. It's a track called The Ceiling, but it's played in reverse. I actually don't know much about Yume Tuki. I know that it's a sequel to a sort of sequel to Yume Nikki, but I've never played either of those games. I only really know Yume Nikki through Jordan Underneath. Of course, he doesn't really do YouTube. He doesn't really do like reviews on YouTube anymore. He does like more like ARG and like weird puppet things and things like that. I'm not even sure when the last time he made anything on YouTube was. It may have been recently, actually, but I don't know. I'm just glad because he decided to change because he just wasn't happy with what he was doing, and he always wants to be doing something different and all that sort of thing, and I appreciate that he wanted to do something different. He also had different feelings about his face being on camera after a while, and I can totally relate to that. So, like, you know, I've shown my face on the internet before, but now it's like a case where it's like, yeah, now I don't want people to see my face on the internet. Not really. Nothing against you guys, it's more just... I don't know. What am I even rambling on about? Sorry, scratching my head again. It feels really damn good. I probably should have made I'm gonna make the eyes and the nose a different like layer. I'll call it like phase. Oh, faced. I think it's the same color as his outer ear. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell on like this blurry ref. Maybe I can see if like I can like find it as like a higher resolution. You know, we're kind of ass deep in here. It'd be kind of a waste of time, honestly. After I'm done this one drawing, I might just do like a bunch of sketches and then we'll close off for the evening. I don't know. It depends on how long this is gonna take. We're about 2 hours in. I was thinking of maybe going for about 3 hours if I'm still like not exhausted by the time I'm done this drawing. that should also go under face because I know how when I go into second color it can be a little finicky. Oh, I also made his inner ear face on accident. Oops. Oh well, who cares? Accidents happen. And that probably won't actually impact anything. If it does, I'll just fix it. You know what was a lot of fun? That one art stream I did where we critiqued people's art. I'd like to do something like that again sometime. Like a whole stream dedicated to that. Just maybe make it like open to subs and be like, hey, if you're subbed to me on Twitch, show me and do art. Show me like your visual art and I'll critique it. Not that I'm necessarily the best person to critique your art, but I'm not the worst person. Excuse me. I'm not the worst person either. So, you know. That, and I had a lot of fun doing it last time, so... I don't know what suddenly made me think of that. I was just thinking, I guess, just ideas I want to do for the streams moving forward, because the last thing I like to do is get stuck in a rut. I don't like to stay too samey with what I do, so... But yeah, would you guys like that? Maybe have like open to subs or something, or donate like $5 and I'll like critique your piece. I don't know, maybe that sounds a little bit pompous now that I'm saying it out loud, like, oh, well, people are gonna want to pay for me to review their art, but I don't know, I think it could be fun. I can't, unfortunately, make the stream just sub exclusive, so, you know, but, well, I say unfortunately, I'd still want people, even if they're not subs, to come and hang out, so, you know. It's more just, I wouldn't want to confuse some, because I know some people would probably get confused. Like, well, I mean, can you critique my art? And I'll be like, well, you didn't sub, and then blah, 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 blah. I don't like saying no to people, is the long and short of it, is more what I mean. I'm rambling about nothing again. But, you know, that's fine. Some rambling about nothing never hurt anyone. I mean, to an extent. Make these like yellow or like gold or something. Again, they're not actually part of the design, but at least not that I could see, but whatever. Maybe make them a little bit darker, a little bit richer in tone, a little bit more orange, a little bit brighter. There we go, that's a good color for it. Want to do that after this piece? I have some rough sketches I could use some feedback on. I don't know, would you be guys down to watch that? Just me doing some feedback for a milk steak? I don't remember correctly. I can put up a poll, can't I? Saying hang in there, we're low. Okay, here we go. Question. Okay, question. Okay, so there is supposed to be a poll coming. Oh yeah, there we go. If you look at the top of your screen, there is an option for polling where you can see who is voting. Like you can vote what we do next. You have 3 minutes. So that's plenty of time. As far as I can tell, voting is anonymous, so there you go. Right now we've got 3 votes. I know that there's more than 3 people watching. If everyone could vote and give their opinion on the matter, I'd very much appreciate it. I know you people aren't deaf. Oh my god, no. I know you people aren't deaf, you know. Vote in the poll. It's at the top. You don't have to be a subscriber to vote. Although I would appreciate it if you subscribed. Ding. Okay, well, the votes... Twitch keeps happening on me. Hopefully I don't have to leave. I hope not, Kaze, because I enjoy your company. Of course, if you have to leave, you have to leave. There's not really much we can do about that, unfortunately, because Twitch be like that sometimes. Alright. Well, we got our answers in, so at a 2-to-1, we have yes. We have a people have spoken, okay? Milksteak, shoot that my way over Twitter, and I'll have a look at it once I'm done Rocky here. And if you don't like it, and if folks don't like that, there was a poll at the top of the chat, like I said. It's done now, but I did say it was there. It's just unfortunate that, most people didn't vote. Of course, I'd like to think that people would have been okay with it regardless. But if you don't, oh well, you should have voted. This is what we doing now. Folks don't like that, it's what we doing now, because that's what the vote was. I don't know what that voice is. Again, I like how it's like, today's gonna be a chill art stream, and I'm just here, like, talking, like, I don't know, Gilbert Gottfried trying not to scream. Stream is very laggy on my end. Augusta said he did it over Discord. That's okay. That's fine. If you like. I was thinking Twitter, but if you want to send it over Discord, you can do that. I'll check it in a mo. If it's laggy, try refreshing. I think that might just be Twitch having a field, because I'm not getting any dropped frames or anything, and Kaze was also having some problems. So it's most likely not your internet, and I don't know what is going on with Twitch lately, because this is not the first stream where this has happened. In fact, this is happening quite frequently, and it's starting to get annoying. Twitch, fix your shit. And there's my swear for the day. Hang on, I guess gotta do something super quick. have to feed the bot. It's important that he gets his snacks, don't you know? I just remembered I hadn't interacted with him at all since we started, and I felt bad, so... Sorry, the VOD was lagging. Yeah, again, that's happening. Hey, Fox, how you doing? I'm doing good, Emma Sketch. How are you? We're just about to do some critique on a... Oh, okay, yeah, no, don't play that. Don't play that. That's copyrighted music. That's a no-no. Anyway, but yeah, I'm doing good, Emma Sketch. I'm just about to do some critique for a subscriber. Just need some good music to throw on. Doing okay. Just finished a drawing, so I guess that's good. I'm glad you're doing well. Fantastic. I'm glad that you finished a drawing. I'm also glad that you're doing well. Sure, let's play Sonic Gems Collection music, because why not? Don't worry, Milksteak. I will be getting to your piece in a mo. Just have to finish up Rocky here. Sort of closer to the end of his tail along the path of this. So here, I'm gonna actually color too. I'm gonna do a bit of fixing because it's a little bit lumpy and weird looking. Is it not? Oh, did I make it part of color? I did. I hate that. I hate when I do that so much. Oh, that drives me up a wall. I might not even need color 3 then. Excuse me. Oh, Sonic soundtrack. Yes, specifically this is from Sonic Gems Collection. It is the museum music. This is not the first time I've played Sonic Gems Collection music, and it likely will not be the last. I think I was playing Sonic Mega Collection music earlier, and I think I played Sonic Gems Collection music before that. If I'm remembering correctly. I'm already forgetting the music that we played, folks. That's the level of intelligence you're dealing with. Joking aside, though, I should probably, you know, be a little more concerned that I can't seem to remember things like that, but They're just close enough to not reach the arm, so. about here, I think, is a good kind of place for them. I just realized I went completely silent. I'm sorry. Alright, I think Rocky is done. Let me just... do a super simple background, just a color and maybe a border, and then we'll be done. Sort of like an off tan, kind of off white for the base. Messed up. Oh, I missed. Turned out well. Thank you very much. I think he turned out pretty okay too. Yeah, he looks good. Looks good. All things considered. Looks quite good. Hey! You ever #1 DRJOSHFOX? Oh, wow. That's a name. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're my #1 fan, apparently. Welcome aboard, my dude. Kick your feet up and relax. We're just doing a chill art stream. How you doing? By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, we have a Discord. Feel free to join if you want. Speaking of Discord, I believe that's where Milksteak sent. I might add a couple of flourishes to the background before I upload it, but like for the most part, it's pretty much done. So let's layer. Merge selected layers, edit, tunnel, hue, saturation, luminosity, overlay, turn it down a bit, say 50, kind of, and then, I don't know, just add like some artificial patterns or something, like, I am #1 fan. I will fight anyone who says otherwise. Well, there's no need to fight. I don't believe in violence unless it's fictitious. But at that point, that's a completely different story. Hey, Niv Milk! Thank you for the host. How you doing? If you're watching, I hope you're doing well. I know you have your stuff set on a timer, so... I don't really like how that looks. I'm glad you're doing good, my dude. Water lily. Plum. So I'm just kind of like looking for like a good like kind of flower or something. I don't know. I don't know why flowers. You know what? Just whatever. I'll just lower it. There. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but meh. I'll save it to my desktop and then add it to my other thing when I'm done. Haha, floral brush go brrr. Floral brush, rather. Alright, now that that's done, I'll sig it after. I'm going to go to Discord and see if Milksteak sent me the thing. Oh. Looks good, thank you very much. I'll just call you number one for now. It's just easier that way. Thank you very much, number one. Ah, alright. So this one is some life drawing. Ooh, I might not be the best to critique you on this, but I'll see what I can do. It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number one. So looking at this, I'm getting the impression that this looks like it was like an apple with an orange slice or like a lemon slice. So I'm just gonna look up some references and kind of go from there. Because admittedly, when it's life drawing, it's a little bit hard when I don't have some sort of visual reference to also go with it. So admittedly, it may not be 100% what you're looking for. Critiquing life drawing is a little bit hard. And if I got the fruit wrong, please feel free to let me know. I'm not very smart. So... I mean, I am, but I'm not, you know? Oh, we've been going for 2 hours and 3 minutes. Actually, this one, the angle... Wait, let me see. The angle on this picture here is... Both are oranges. Oh, okay. You know, I had a feeling it was an orange, but I wasn't sure because... You know, looking at the leaf, yeah, I'm dumb. Sorry. Aren't those great? No, clearly they're dragon fruit. No, not slice. Bad Google. Of course, it showed a picture of the... Oh, did I find the picture that you referenced, actually? I think I did. Milksteak, was this the photo that you referenced? Because if not, it's remarkable. Ah, they are grapant. Oh, god damn it. Number one, have we spoken before? But Milksteak, I'm assuming this is the image that you used. That's the reference? Excellent. So, maybe. Who are you, number one? Who are you? It's alright. So, the first thing I just want to notice is I want to focus on the slice first. So I'm going to redline over your drawing, but I'm not gonna... Micah, is that you? I don't think it's mica. So the first thing I noticed was the slice. Looking at the actual slice, it's a lot more voluminous than what you ended up doing. And I will say, okay, just to begin, I don't know how much life drawing you do. This came out pretty okay, all things considered. This came out not too bad. But if you like notice, the actual fruit is fairly more voluminous. Like, it's thick. It's thick. Whereas yours is a little bit more thin, especially it doesn't show much of the outer peel. The best way I would go about sort of figuring that out is doing measurements. Now, admittedly, measurements and how you want to go about it are going to vary from artist to artist, and moreover, I'm more familiar with doing life drawing with a model like in person. So when I see something like a fruit and I have to try and copy it, it's a little hard for me to kind of get into. So if this isn't particularly helpful, I apologize, but I like drawing like lines of reference to kind of give me an idea of the shape and whatnot. Number one, that wasn't a no. On top of that, just something else I noticed was that the two sides are kind of inconsistent, and the divot is quite larger than what's actually there. Again, the best way to figure out... Did I draw over the... I did. Heck. Well, no problem. Let me just... That's my own fault. That should have covered it. Let me just... No? Alright, then. What I would recommend doing is, okay. Clearly, I'm not being very clear with what I'm getting at here. So let's, what I would have done at first is I would, draw, like, the more basic shape of the orange. Because I get the feeling you did the silhouette first. And that can work, depending on what kind of drawing you're doing. But what I would do is I draw the super basic shape first. For something like a fruit. And thankfully, fruits and fruit slices are very simple shapes. So it's not that difficult to figure them out. Of course, you're going to see me mess up. And like I said, this is not going to be perfect. This is just a critique. And then from there... Looking at it, you could start to flesh out the shapes. Very much like a character. So, about... I'd say it's in the middle. It's about smack dab in the middle is where the divot, you could say, begins. And number one, don't worry if you don't feel like telling us who you are. I was joking. If you're not comfortable, it's all good. The number one thing I'm concerned about when it comes to these streams is that people have a good time. The second thing I'm concerned about is making money. Aren't we all, though? But yeah, now you can start to flesh out some of the details. It's an orange clementine or tangerine? It's an orange. You can tell it's a fairly bit big, the shape of it, the shade of it, both inside and out. It's an orange, as far as I can tell. Also, the leaf. It's very orangey. Now, something I like to do with my reference images is I like to kind of, again, I like to go over them and kind of trace over basic ideas and then see how I can apply that to the drawing that I'm doing. I don't try and trace the whole drawing, because that kind of defeats the purpose. You're not really getting the information out. But I feel like, at least for me, it helps me to break it down better. So there's a sort of lopsided kind of curve here. If you look at the way that you did it, it's fairly, like, it's a fairly symmetrical curve. Like, if I can just, yeah. If you look at the way you did it, it's a fairly symmetrical kind of just, well, I'm not drawing it very symmetrically, but just kind of like curve to it. Like, see? Whereas here, it's sort of at an angle because of the perspective. It's important that you keep the perspective in mind while you're drawing. And there's a few different methods to how you're doing that. I'm doing like a super basic kind of way, because if you're just quickly trying to do life drawing to warm up. But there's a few different methods you can take to do it. Something you could literally do if you wanted was that you could try and break it down. Like draw the super simple shape, and then you could like draw the volume of the shapes through lines like so, and then try and figure it out from there. This actually can help a lot, but also fair warning, if it's something you're not as familiar with, you may find doing that a little bit overwhelming with how much lines there are. That's something I do with characters as well. Am I making sense, Milksteak, or am I kind of going all over the place? Because I kind of get the feeling I'm going a bit all over the place. Oh, jeez, I did it again. But, like, as you can see here, the shape is already at least some... I mean, it's obviously not the same because I'm not copying it note for note. And it's not going to be perfect. But it's at least sort of closer to the actual orange, with a bit more of the perspective going on. Of course, I could do better on the sides here. The angle isn't quite intense enough. Whereas if you look at the one that you did, even though it is a pretty alright attempt, it's very flat. Yes, you're being very helpful. Fantastic. It's very flat, if you look. Whereas here, it's very three-dimensional. There's like a sort of triangle kind of shape, and then on this side, there's like a half triangle, and then right there in the middle, you've got the kind of warped perspective on it that helps give it a little bit more dimensionality. Because it's not just facing, I mean, it's not just, the side here, the orange side here, isn't just flatly facing the camera, it's off to the side. So, with that in mind, you do that. And again, it's not a perfect replica of the drawing, but we're at least getting there. We're getting a bit closer. Again, if just drawing the shapes out first helps, then do that. Now, as for drawing a circle, there really isn't a great way. Because here's the thing. If you look at, like, this orange here, it is kind of just a circle in terms of how it's being drawn. Like, with the perspective one, because it's a perfect quote-unquote circle. It's obviously not, because you've got, like, a divot there and whatever, but it is a perfect circle as far as the art is concerned. So, you did within the best of your abilities. There's not too much I can say. If I could recommend anything when you're drawing circles, I noticed you feathered your lines like so, and sometimes that's appropriate. But when you're trying to just draw a circle, just go for it, man. And just keep redoing it until you get it right. And do it very light, because you're doing it on paper. So do it, like, extremely light. So, like, it's not easy to show off on a tablet, but do it, like, very light. Also, don't be afraid of your eraser, obviously. I noticed you actually did erase a little bit, so good. A lot of people are afraid of their eraser. Just, obviously there's an upper limit to that. Eventually it'll become too smudgy, especially when you're dealing with shading. So that's about as good as I can get it, or, well, let me just, I mean, it looks a little bit square. But see, circles are, perfect, quote-unquote perfect circles hard to do. But I would recommend trying to do it in one go, instead. Okay, that's a little bit, I mean, this bit. And maybe making, like, do the thing in one go and then make corrections as you need them if there's, like, any mild corrections. Like, this is a small correction. Is, probably a good idea. And a fair warning to the people who are watching this, I am doing this completely by the seat of my pants. I haven't actually, although the last time I actually critiqued anything, like any art, was that stream that I did. So I'm a little rusty. Now, from there, we can break down the leaf and whatnot into simple shapes. Again, I noticed that you kept it very flat, and it's going very much downwards. You look here, it's sort of an angle. It's sort of angled. Now, the best thing I would recommend doing for when you're trying to figure it out is looking for, like, I guess you could say, a sort of anchor point, or a, what are they called? A landmark. Now, admittedly, with something like an orange, it's a little bit hard to do, but, like, a landmark can help you figure out, how's the stream going, Fox? Stream's going good, Void. Thank you for asking. I'm critiquing someone's life drawing right now. Ow! But when you're doing, I say, it's going great, and I smash my foot. Would be looking for landmarks. Now, if you look here, the good landmark would be, like, say, the beginning of this here, but we haven't drawn it yet. So, if we, assuming that we already drew the orange peel, a good landmark might be sort of, the first, I guess you could say, 1, 2, 3, like the first fourth of it would be like a good landmark. You might have to do a little bit of figuring that out, but, like, again, I'm using measurement on the piece. Also, maybe doing, like, a bit of perspective line. Just, I don't know, it just feels better that way. So, the first fourth, at least here, how it looks is like so. So, my landmark would be like this. And as you can see, thankfully, the landmark also lines up with the actual, like, stem, the edge of the leaf. I did do the circle in a single go at first, but I went back to overcorrect it and made it the outline darker. Yeah, overcorrection is a, that can happen. That can happen, especially when you're just doing, like, sketches. Well, now, I do it all the time, but, like, I've actually done that where I've been, like, doing, like, a gesture drawing, and then I just, I mess it up. I muck it up because I spend too much time worrying about it. So now from here, from this anchor point, we can, try and figure out using, I guess, our eyes, and as well as, again, breaking down more shapes. As you can see, there's a small triangle here. So just do, like, a small triangle here. And, okay, so that's the stem. And then that's the side of the stem. And something I do appreciate, something that you did do this, was, if I can get rid of the sketch for a second, you did notice that the stem was coming off of the orange. And in fact, if you actually pushed it more than what's in the piece. But I just appreciate that you noticed that bit of depth. That's good. That's good. That's a very good thing that you did there. Even if it wasn't one-to-one the same, that's okay. It's not going to be. Especially if you're like me and you don't do a lot of life drawing. I actually should do more life drawing. But just the fact that you did that, it shows that you're, like, aware of the depth of the picture. That's good. And from there, we now can start with the leaf. We look at the length from here to here. I find, like, when I'm doing, like, a model like this, it does help to have, like, visual lines. If you're looking at, like, a real person model, you're gonna have to actually take your pencil and do this thing with it where you measure it out with your pencil. It's a lot easier than it sounds, but it's a little awkward to get the hang of. I'd love someday to be able to, like, teach, like, a class like that and show the techniques and whatnot. Though I'm not a great teacher, I enjoy teaching people things. I may have overdid my angle a little bit, like if you look. Compare it to the actual orange. I may have overdone my angle a little bit. It's a little bit too far, which ironically makes it look a little bit more flat. So see, even mine isn't perfect. And then from there, you could start filling in the details. Details have always been something where it's a little bit, at least I find, a little bit more hard to kind of parse. In a way that won't make you want to kill yourself. Shading is a big part of that, and shading is, I might actually need another tool for this, because, trying to do it with this pencil set is not going to be easy. So let me, I wonder if I can find, like a crayon, or like a colored pencil, or something like that. There's paint, but, like, that's not really what I'm looking for. There's pastel. There's real pencil. Maybe I could try that. Maybe I'll turn down the density. Hey, dude. Hey, Theo! Everyone say hi to Theo. Now, in terms of the shadows, you didn't do too bad a job. Something I noticed is that, in general, it looks like you tried to stay in the same direction. Now, the same direction thing's a little bit tricky because... And even more, actually, I also noticed you kind of did it, like, at least it looks like you did it in, like, little circles, rather than lines. And that's actually what you're supposed to do. At least, that's what I was taught to do. Now, something you're going to want to do is figure out the source of the light. Theo, hoy! Is figure out the source of your light, which, if I'm looking at this orange correctly, it's sort of coming from here. So, I'm going to just sort of roughly get an idea, and just kind of do this, to kind of help figure out my lighting. I do this on all of my art. It's me. How is Bear? Does Bear do good? Ah, jeez. Apologies, I've been sitting on my ankle. Probably not the best idea, but, you know. This music, I like this music. It's getting a little bit repetitive. Let's, oh, it's almost over anyway, so I might as well just let it finish. Excuse me. So, I have a new layer for shading. Now, with orange, there's always a little bit of, like, texture and whatnot, and you. I think it might be a little bit too big. This is really tough to do digitally, but I'll try and see what I can do. I don't know, honestly. Jeez. Hey, Theo! Just subbed at tier 1. Thank you very much, Theo. That means you now have access to the following stickers, if I'm remembering correctly. Erg, Butt, Pride, and Bold, and Brash. Yeah, now you can spam the butt emote like everyone does. Okay, so now you have the light figured out. The first thing you have to do is that there's a sort of core shadow. There's sort of reflective light, and then like what is that called? Yeah, there's like reflective light, and then there's just the main light source, which I think is called like the core light. I always forget my light drawing terms. But basically, you've got your main source of light. You've got the shadow, and where it gets to its darkest, which is usually around the lower middle, or in this case here, if you look, it's kind of like this patch over here. Like, hang on, I'm gonna go back to my regular pencil. So, like, if you look, it's kind of like this patch here. And if you look, it kind of transitions. As well as having, like, the deep shadow here. There's also a very mild reflective light here, and there's a very obvious reflective light here. Spectacular light, I think, is the term for reflective light. I believe you're right, yes. I was going to use an emote and realized my sub ran an hour ago. Duh! What emote were you going to use? Or, you say spectacular light. No, there was another term that my teachers used. It's not rim light. That's used in, like, whatever. Anyway, point is, there's the boot. By the way, butt has 2 T's. Anyway, so you start from up here, and you sort of very lightly go at it. Which, now you've kind of, but it's important to really observe and keep in mind. I think, if I'm to give you a main piece of advice, Milksteak, is that it seems like you grasp that the orange is there, and the image itself, but you don't necessarily take in the visual information to its, like, its reality, I guess you could say. You see it, you know it's there, and you more think of the vague shapes and the silhouettes rather than, like, the depth of it. Not completely, because like I said, you did notice that the stem sticks out. But even then, it's a case where it's like, it's important not to just look and then do. It's important to observe it, figure out the measurements and that sort of thing. Again, mine's not perfect, but you can still tell I went for it, you know? Mine's just not perfect because I don't do a lot of life drawing. Like, I'm forgetting terminology. If my life drawing teacher, he was here right now, he'd be very disappointed in me. Because I keep, like, forgetting. He'd be like, oh, Fox, come on, we discussed this like 100 times. And I'd be like, I know, I'm sorry, at least I remembered core shadows. And he'd be like, yeah, I guess. I draw what I think I see. Yes! Yes, you draw what you think you see. That is and Milksteak, don't feel too bad. That is an extremely common problem, especially with beginner artists. That is an extremely common problem. Like, when people are drawing faces, they don't measure out the faces. They just kind of look at it, and that's enough. Now, if you're trying to emulate, like, a cartoon or something, that could be fine, but when you're doing, like, a realistic face, that leads to, like, Uncanny Valley and, like, weird facial proportions and things like that. That is especially true when you're doing, like, the human body. Something I see frequently is people will, like, just kind of draw it out instead of trying to figure out the measurements and the proper silhouette and things like that. And it's a lot harder when you're doing it, like, on a model, because if, like, what I did, I drew out, like, the measurements and whatnot. I drew out, like, oh, well, this goes here, the lighting's coming from here. You can't do that in real life, unfortunately. But just the fact that you're aware of that, just from looking at my instruction and my explanation, I think that shows a lot of self-awareness on your part, and that's good. My shading is not very good. Sorry, I'm more doing it as kind of an example. Uncanny Valley. The Uncanny Valley is a phenomenon when something looks kind of real, but just fake enough that it disturbs you. Like an animatronic that's like an animatronic that looks pretty real, but isn't real enough. Like, the one that I always think of is the Hall of Presidents at Disneyland, or Disney World rather. Those animatronics are like, I always hear people say, like, they're kind of creepy. And it's like, yeah, I could totally see it. Especially the Donald Trump one, because he looks like he has Hillary Clinton's face. Because you can tell that they were convinced that Hillary Clinton was going to win the election. And then Donald Trump one, they're like, oh, well, geez, what do we do? And they're just like, well, we'll just retrofit the Hillary Clinton one and turn it and sort of fix it up and make it look more like Donald Trump. Or another example, though it's not exactly something that looks like a real person, but they have elements of, like, a real person just enough. The animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy's with their glassy eyes. That's part of what makes them kind of uncomfortable, especially in the first couple of games. The one that I always think of is, when I think of the Uncanny Valleys, I think of Withered Freddy from the second game, because he has these glassy eyes that kind of these glassy gray eyes, and they have this kind of reflective quality, and ugh, it's gross. I don't like him. So yeah, my shading not great. Sorry about that. But yeah, little circles. It's hard to find a good kind of pencil to do this with. But you'll notice that there is, again, a darker part here, and that's the core shadow. So you go back and you kind of figure out where the core shadow is. It's sort of shaped like this. So I'm going to sort of go back and see if I can... Though Scott Cawthon nailed it with his character design. He got exact... Oh, yeah, no, they were doing that very much on... He was doing that very much on purpose, because he had released games beforehand that used character... I believe it was Chipper and Sons Lumber Company is the one that I always hear about. The people who reviewed it were like, wow, this is terrifying. Your cute characters look like murderous animatronics or something. And he's like, well, that gives me an idea, because he was going to quit game development. Can you imagine if he decided to quit game development? That's crazy. So yeah, this isn't a very good example. I'm kind of mucking this up, unfortunately. You'll notice, again, I'm not... and I'm not trying to put myself down. This is just a legitimate acknowledgement of my weaknesses. I'm not much of a life drawer. And it's something that I need to try and do more of. I'm kind of trying to go back and redefine the shape. This music's getting a little bit repetitive. Yeah, sure. Studiopolis Act 1 from Sonic Mania. But I'm assuming you still get the gist of what I'm getting at here. Is figure out kind of like the shape of it, which I didn't do very well when I was following my shadows. I hate the eraser on my tablet pen. Still looks a hell of... Well, yes, but I've also been to school for drawing. And I have 2 certificates for finishing my programs. I have documents proving that I did so. I am taught. Like, besides, the point was to teach me /AI and stuff, and I think you're doing that. Okay. Not to necessarily say that somebody who is taught professionally versus someone who's self-taught is necessarily better. There's plenty of self-taught artists who are better than me. But of course, it's like a case where you're figuring things out, you're learning, and I've already kind of gone through, and I want to go through more programs. I want to learn more because I love learning. Something else that you will notice, like I said, is that there's it's not as noticeable in this picture, but there is a reflective quality to it that doesn't necessarily, there's actually a fairly strong shadow along the edge that I didn't notice. That's what I get for not being observant. Anyway, is that there's a very mild, like, lighter patch, and that's because it's reflected against the floor. Now, something I noticed is that you tried to add in the floor even though it's not present in the reference that you used. Don't worry about doing that. If there isn't, like, a shadow present or whatever... Also, the shadow's in the wrong... I mean, this is a minor thing, but the shadow's in the wrong way. If the light's being cast this way, the shadow would be going... The shadow would be going this way. But don't worry about that next time if you use the picture like this or something in a black void of trying to emulate a shadow that you can't see. A whole YouTube series where Fox teaches us art. I wouldn't mind doing that sometime when I'm more confident with my own abilities. But as it stands, there are people who are better suited to do that right now. But when I'm more confident in my abilities, I would love to do that. Because... surprisingly, despite the fact that I'm rambling every 2 seconds like, oh, well, I'm not doing that very well, I love teaching. I love teaching people things, or I love talking about things, or educating people. When I was actually quite young, I wanted to be a teacher. I decided not to do that because school ruined that idea for me, and I hated school. But, like... Oh? The plot she thickens. Did I, Oh, well, whatever. I'll just, it's gonna make things a little bit trickier, but whatever. I'll just make it all part of one thing then. Whatever. Honestly, I should have probably more lightly sketched out the orange at first, and I probably would have been able to make it look cleaner. Something I'd recommend doing with your pencil, and I'm going to be artificially simulating this, is kind of, when you've got lines, is maybe trying to, like, thin them out as it's closer to the light. This is not something I always do, because I forget. But hey, sometimes forgetting's alright, you know? Does shading make the drawing more complex? Yes, absolutely. Shading makes the drawing more complex. It also could just inherently add more depth. That doesn't necessarily mean that it will, but just inherently it adds more depth. I hear my dog is freaking out again, though not quite as loudly. She's more like, ah! I think someone came home with food, so she's all excited. shading's also just a very complicated thing in general. So that's why I'm not talking as much of... Well, actually, I say I'm not talking as much about the shading. I've actually talked quite a bit about it. But I hope you get kind of like the gist. Lighting is a bit tricky because, technically speaking, what I should be doing is I should be shading as much of this as I can, and then kind of figuring out where the lighting goes based on that. So looking at the lighting, it's kind of all over the place, isn't it? Like the shiniest points, it's kind of all over the place. So I'm just gonna kind of go by the seat of my pants, though I wouldn't always advise doing this, especially in a educational or professional environment. I'm getting a bit lazy with the base shading. Sorry. You don't really have to do this, but considering that there is a bit of light that's like very noticeable on there, I think it might be a good idea to just kind of have like patches or like try and like shade it in. Again, this is a lot harder to do when it's not on pencil, actually. You can also, if you want, add in like little divots, but those could be a little bit tricky to do. Admittedly, when we did life drawing, we mostly focused on like silhouettes and measurements, so just doing like little details like this. I tend to go a little bit more devil may care with it. And my dog is still losing her mind for some reason. Now, let's try and get the shading on the orange slice here. Similar kind of thing, but it's a bit more complicated because if you look, there's all sorts of, like, little lights. Which, sometimes, that's not gonna be fun. The core shadow here is actually towards the end, if you look. It's towards the very bottom. So I might just do this last part super quick. It's actually funny, I have my prof on Facebook. I could probably ask him, hey, what do you call the opposite of the core shadow? And he'll probably be like, oh, Fox. What do you call reflective light? I have my notes somewhere, too. Actually, I think they're all on my old computer, which gave up. If you look, I did not make this part nearly thick enough. So I'm gonna actually fix that. Though admittedly I might mess up the sketch a little bit. Oh well, it's not like it was meant to be all that pretty. It was more of a, this is what you do. And, you know, like I said, I'm self-deprecating again, so that's another bit. Again, sometimes you can't help it. So which art tools do you use more often, Fox? My tablet and Clip Studio Paint. Occasionally, if I'm feeling like a maverick, I'll whip out the pencil and paper, but for the most part, that's what I use. Just because it's easier for me, it's what I'm more familiar with. I have more options. And I'm more trained in digital art than I am in traditional art, so... Though with that said, life drawing I'm actually more familiar with pencil and paper. So this is a bit of a, like, trying to figure out, like, realistic shading like this and whatnot, and not, like, through more traditional, like, digital painting methods, because I'm trying to show him how to do it on paper on my computer, so it's a little tricky. Still, it is kind of neat that you wanted me to like, work on a, piece for you that was a bit of life drawing rather than, like a character or something. Not that I'm complaining about like correcting characters and whatnot, I just wasn't expecting that. Studying life drawing is good and you should do it more than I do it is probably a good moral to this story, as it were. I'm just gonna like fill these up. If you can see, I'm kind of trying to have it so there's more of a suggestion of the kind of lines there. Though I should probably actually be doing measurements to figure out where it goes. I think I might be able to do it overdoing this a little bit, but that's alright. So a bit more of a slight shadow here, where there's a slightly more emphasized one here. They all go up here. Consider what I'm doing with the pencil to be a kind of... I try to practice a variety of art topics, as you should. That's good. Consider what I'm doing with my pencil on the drawing here the digital equivalent of using your eye and your pencil as a measuring tool. I'd recommend looking up how to do it because obviously I can't show you how over one of my cameras not here, and even if I did have my camera, I don't think I'd be able to accurately display how it works because I would need to be able to kind of give you an idea of like, oh, well, you look at it from this angle and you do such and such. It's a fair bit more complicated than you might think. Alright, so I kind of mucked up the orange peel, the orange slice a little bit, but that's okay. And from there, you could probably just erase some to figure out, like, the lighting. Just kind of do. Your favorite cat is around. Welcome back, Horace. Alright, and so I hope that at least gives you kind of an idea. Well, I guess I should probably just real quickly do the leaf too. Again, same kind of thing. You look around it, you figure out where the core shadow is. In this case, it's over here. You figure out where the highlight well, you figure out where the highlight is. It's, well, this one's a little bit hard because I'm going to say it's this one because it's the most immediately obvious. There's also like a shadow over here as well, and you could definitely make out the core shadow. It's very obvious. It's basically lining around the leaf. So in that case, it's actually perfectly fine if you go a little bit more graphic with it. So I'm just gonna... Heck, that's not what I meant to do. No, what? Why is it on eraser? Stop it. Just gonna increase the density and just kind of... It's a little bit hard to make out because I've got all these thick lines about, but you get the gist. Did we turn to art lessons? More or less, yeah. Milksteak. I had brought up what I wanted to do. Sometimes I want to do a stream of just these red lines and whatever, like redlining over drawings and whatever. And then he asked if I wanted to do one quick of a piece of life drawing that he did. Although actually, he didn't say it was life drawing. But nah, it's all good. I don't mind correcting life drawing. But yeah, no, he said he said if I was interested, I would be. And then we put it to a poll. People said yeah, and now I'm doing this. This might be the only one I'm doing tonight because it's actually fairly time consuming. Admittedly, again, I'm not the best life drawer, but I'm a character designer at heart in the end. Always have been, always will be. At this point, I'm just cleaning it up. There's like, I mean, cleaning it up, quote unquote. There isn't really, you know what? It's kind of mucking up the shading. Whatever. Anyway, so that's how I would sort of go about going over it. Ostensibly, a character designer story of my life. Yeah. My bad. No, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This was actually a lot of fun. I was more concerned I was boring you guys, frankly. Alright, so as you can see here, it's not one-to-one, but it is closer, because I made sure to keep the measurements of the orange in mind. I looked at it as a three-dimensional physical thing, not just a vague silhouette, or just looking at it and then just keeping it in my mind's eye and then trying to copy it. I looked back to it, I referenced it a lot, I did measurements on both getting the dimension of it down as well as the shading. I used some like nets and whatnot in order to... Hey! Horace the Owl is gifting a tier 1 sub to Micah. Thank you very much, Horace. Very cool of you, my dude. Micah will be happy to see that when he gets back. So I do see, with that said, for positives that you did, in terms of making sure you got the dimensionality down, while you didn't do it perfectly, you did at the very least acknowledge that there was depth. You didn't just make it so that, like, oh, well, there's this thing there, and then it ends at the end and cause, like, a tangent. You did know that it was there. You did have heavier shading around the leaf, though, admittedly, it's more... I didn't even really cast it all that right. Actually, I should probably fix that. As you can see, you kind of have to make sure you keep it cast well, and sort of, again, make measurements. There's actually a lot of math. But thankfully, it's not like numbers, like multiplication, division tables math. It's lengths and things like that. It's I believe that's called trigonometry, geometry, whatever. It's one of those. I believe it counts as both, actually. Yeah, no, I think it's just geometry, because isn't, like, trigonometry numbers in relation to shapes? I don't know. I barely did math in school. Once I got the opportunity to not do it, I stopped. It's a bit of eyeball geometry. A little bit. A little bit. But that's just the thing, though. I didn't just eyeball it. I figured out some of the shapes, like, by drawing. Like, they're not really here, but I figured out... I'm in college. Yes, he's in college. I figured out, like, the net, like, the overall, like, the overall, like, shape of it and whatnot, and copied it. Again, it's not one-to-one the same, but you could see more of the depth, and you could see more of the silhouette. The silhouette is closer, in general, to the original drawing, because I took those steps. And I think that could help with your depth a lot, as well as with your shading, in order to help it make it look stronger and more natural. Did that help you at all, Milksteak? Did my rambling help at all? Not art college, mind you. I mean, technically, I didn't go to an art college. I went to a college's art program. Two of them. 2 art programs. Pre-animation and introduction. No, it was Concept Art Foundation. Where they teach you a lot about digital painting and whatnot. Ooh-wee! Pre-animation is where I actually learned a lot of this measurement stuff. Though, they keep up with you in it when you do life drawing in Concept Art Foundations. But yeah, Milk... absolutely. Oh, it helped? Fantastic, because I kind of felt like I was rambling. If you'd like, I can send you the doc. Is pretty much what I'd say. Okay, good. Good. We have the confirmation of a second artist. And I can confirm Horace's work is quite good. It's very, like, graphic. It's very graphic work, because certified Adobe designer. This was very helpful. Hope it was entertaining. Yeah. Aw, you. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed listening to me ramble about life drawing. If you want, Milksteak, I can send you this sort of drawing. If you do you think it would help? Because like, if you don't think it would help, then I won't bother. Then I won't bother you with it. But if you think that me sending it will help, then I'll absolutely send it to you. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna wait on a response for that. I'm just gonna real quickly open up a new thing, and I'm just gonna doodle whatever. Hardest, most entertaining lecture I had was black paper and chalk. Drawing a negative. It was a cow skull. That could be a lot of fun, yeah. The most annoyingly frustrating, but also ton of fun, was we had to do life drawing where we were drawing the silhouettes. We did not look away from the model, and we had to all do it without lifting the pencil. It was, oh, it was nightmare. But it was also really funny, just seeing how it came out. It was a lot of fun. So I'm going to I'm also going to just really quickly put down some notes. So just, measurements. Dude, mine were always so bad. Oh, same. Cow skulls. How hard that was. Skulls are tricky on their own because, like, even more than, like, heads, there's weird measurements they have to make. The eye sockets were the most challenging. You say eye sockets, I say the nose. Similar dilemma. I found it a lot harder, frankly. I actually didn't find the eyes that hard to figure out. I mean, proportionally speaking, for drawing a skull. If I'm comparing it to anything else, yeah, pain in the ass, absolutely. But actually, my skulls tended to look quite good. And a little encouraging message, because I like doing those. I don't know how teachers do those dumb little stars, but whatever. Alright! I like how, again, this was meant to be a chill stream, and I'm just like, alright, I'm just gonna PNG, I'm gonna call it Milk Steak Art. Okay, I'm gonna send that your way, my dude. Let me just open up Discord. So since you talked up my design skills, I want to send you the logo I did for my sister's Etsy shop. Feel free. Feel free to shoot that my way. If you're expecting critique, I am not a graphic designer. So I will not be a very good critique for that. Bum ba da bum. Na 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 na. Bum 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 ba da bum. All right, I sent it to you, so you now have that available to you if you think that would help. Yeah, I saw that you just saw and gave me a thumbs up. Also, I love your icon. It's your cat. Your cat is